Alright, welcome to part 2 of Extreme Makeover, Musket Edition, for the Veteran Arms Charleville Model 1768. If you are new to this video, there is a part 1 in which I kind of give the outline of what I'm trying to do. Long story short, I had purchased an India-made Flintlock musket through Veteran Arms, a company in the United States, and it came from India. It cost about $800, and Veteran Arms provides you a stable, safe product, but there's some work that needs to be done to make it a little bit more correct how it would look compared to an original, which is this. This is an original French infantry musket from the system of 1766, or model 1766. And then this is the reworked Charleville model 1768 musket that you pick up from Veteran Arms. And today, in this video, we're going to show the comparison between the reproduction and the original after its makeover. So next I wanted to knock off that almost chrome-like shine that comes with these Veteran Arms guns and other India. Well, at least I know I can say with the Veteran Arms gun, they come and they're almost like chrome-like with how much they shine. So how did Revero 311 get rid of that? Well, I don't know if this actually works, but I covered it in white vinegar and then, well, I know this part works. I left it outside for like 9 or 10 days and I just basically rusted all the pieces as much as I could, or at least provided some oxidation to kind of dull the metal. And yeah, after I let it sit outside, I took some Rust-Oleum, which I found to be very, very useful in knocking rust off. And I just took that and a rag. Time to put the Flintlock back together. I'd already put it together before I had stained the stock, and the reason I would recommend doing that is because you're going to have to use like a hammer or well, not a hammer. Use like a mallet and a rag, and you're going to have to basically knock these pieces back into place, especially for like the side plate. I had to knock the barrel tang down because of how the stock has been warped and expanded and compressed in the different ways with different liquids and oils and moisture touching it. The stock has started to deform, so I was having to use a mallet to basically force fit all the pieces back where they needed to go, including like the trigger guard that had to get force fitted back in. Side plate had to get force fitted. Thankfully, the lock plate didn't require much, and then the barrel bands I could now sort of hand fit. With the gun back together and the linseed oil applied, this is the finished product. So, how did we do? Let's do the close-up. And here are the two pieces next to each other. As you can see, we have been able to bring the comb of the stock down. I think it came up to like almost like right there. It like came straight out and then came down, so we're able to get it to more accurately reflect this illusion of size because the one in the front here is closer to the camera. If you flip over, you can see how the stocks are a little bit closer as well, and the overall size and shape of the comb of that stock. Going on to the wrist of the stock, you can see how we're able to bring the wrist down quite a bit as well, which is pretty nice. And here's the top view of the comb as it comes down into the wrist of the stock, comb as it comes down. It's interesting to take note of how an actual butt plate top is compared to the reproduction. It's a little bit more softer angles, whereas the reproduction is a little bit harder angles. Moving forward, you can see how the lock plate on an original doesn't really pop out. It's flush with the stock. They're about the same size now, right? Now see how the lock plate doesn't pop out? And with the Veteran Arms reproduction, you can see how much wood was knocked down. I don't know if it was completely flush before, but you see that is about maybe 1/8 of an inch of metal from the lock plate that is jutting out. Also, other things that are important to note when you move along the tang of the barrel, an original is completely rounded. Let's see if I can get this light. So this is rounded all the way up in one good angle to the barrel. It's almost a continuation of the roundness of the barrel as it goes back. Originals will have that. These reproductions, they have a lot of excess like wood with like almost like a 90-degree cut off. You can kind of see that. So it came out and then came out and then jutted down. So that was really nice. I really wanted to knock that off to make it a little bit more round. It's not as round as the original, but it is still more round than it was. There's also a lot of excess wood right here on the stock shadow compared to an original. There's really not that much excess wood right there. Here they are on their sides. You can see where I was able to bring you can see where we were able to bring the wood on the stock shadow down. And you can see how that compares to that. So you have that nice pointy edge for the stock shadow as it comes over. So that was pretty nice to bring it down. This chip happened because I think I put the wrong nail in the wrong spot. That when I did this last when I was putting the gun together, with the flintlock back together, I hit it with a nail and it chipped off a piece of wood. So I'm going to have to hit that with some aquafortis and then put some linseed oil and that'll take care of that little chip. But yeah, so there it is in those comparisons. And now we're moving to the lock plate where the majority of the work was done. The original probably popped out another ½ inch over here and it was way too much. So that all got hand filed back in. So that's much closer to the outline of the lock plate, as well as then this forward part of the wood that was brought back to just make just a visually much nicer. But as you can tell between the original, that's still even a little bit closer. It has this like teardrop on its lock plate. And yeah, it's just nice and tight of the wood to the lock plate as it was hand filed down. And then obviously the differences between original and the reproduction. Take a note that this is actually a reproduction cock. I think it's from 1774, but that's not correct. It should be flat like this. So that is something that is not correct about this original. And we move forward. Stock really doesn't have as much of an aggressive wedge as it comes down. It's barely right there. And on an original, you can see how fat or wide, how fat or wide the stock is right here, and then it has a much more aggressive edge. So this took a lot of sanding down to get it to be much more in line. But now, like I'm very happy I can do that, which I couldn't do when I first got it. So that's fun. And then, yeah, the rest of the gun, honestly, and this is the front, the middle barrel band, and the nose cap. And there's really not much to talk about here. That was mostly the same. I just kind of sanded it down, knocked it, made it a little bit thinner. And it still is thinner, but just, I mean, these originals are just so thin. It's kind of so hard to do some of the lighting, but yeah, how thin the channel of this stock is to the barrel is quite impressive, honestly. That's a sturdy wood, and I was able to thin this down, but yeah, I mean, overall, that's basically it. One of the biggest takeaways I actually learned was this actually gave me a really good insight into how these would have been made in the factory and how they're all unique pieces of art, basically, in a way. They're all made individually, they're all hand fitted. And just from my experience and of how the wood warps and changes when you put the different liquids on it, the moisture, the heat, and how you're going to have to actually force it in to put it all together. Like I said, I'm no expert when it comes to refinishing or doing anything like this. This is all pretty new to me, but it was a really good experience. Moving forward with the Veteran Arms gun, I was talking to Ethan Woods again. Like I said, I reached out. Great guy. Very helpful. And I was talking about the weight because I thought I was going to be able to knock down enough weight to get the gun a little bit closer to that 8.5, 9 pounds that an original is. It's still about 10 pounds, which is, in my opinion, a pound and a half too heavy. And he recommended reaching out to the rifle shop and getting some lighter weight barrel bands, so a lower barrel band, a middle barrel band, and the nose cap. The thing about the nose caps from the rifle shop is that they don't have the brass front sight post, so they'll have to be done. But yeah, so that's kind of the future plan. Maybe I'll make a fourth video about the Veteran Arms Charleville 1768. I don't know. See if it just depends on time. But yeah, that is the end of the video. If you guys have any comments that you'd like to put in, again, if you see something I could have done better, or something that just didn't seem quite right, or if you have any recommendations or whatever, just leave a comment down there below. Not only does it help the algorithm, but it also helps inform me. And as you can tell, like, I'm learning there right alongside you. This is all a process for me as well. Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate people spending time watching my videos. It's kind of a, I don't know, it's pretty awesome to see that people are engaging in the comment section. I learn a lot from the comment section, and also I learn how to better speak, maybe not speak out of turn, or how to better articulate my thoughts and arguments, because people, the greatest thing about that comment section is some of the questions I get asked completely take me off guard. So yeah, I really enjoy engaging in the comment section if you haven't seen. So yeah, so if you have any questions, comments, whatever, leave it down below. You know what to do. If you like this kind of content, you know, like, comment, subscribe, share, you know what to do. I appreciate all your time. Thanks for watching this video, and moving forward, I plan to do this obviously with the Pedersoli 1763 kit. As you can see, it's sitting here completely with the unstained stock. So basically, I'm gonna have to take that stock and I'll probably be leaning on John again to help work the stock down, and then we'll go through and then I'll stain it. The Aquafortis turned out to be great. I like how the piece looks, and especially when you put that linseed oil on, it's able to give you kind of a reddish, more brownish red color than a blonde, but all in all, I think the piece is much better looking now. So yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.
The well was between two sets of buildings. It was probably about 150, 200 meters between the buildings. It was right next to a farm field.